Hello and welcome to your tutorial on unique learning systems. Welcome. We are going to be spending this tutorial going through specifically the curriculum component of unique learning systems. So what you do is you go to news2.com and you sign in, and this is what the homepage looks like. You're going to see lots of fun stuff, little icons that go into ULS, unique learning systems, Inspire, News2You. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to unique learning systems. We're going to click that little icon. And last, we're going to look at courses. So this is an interesting section of unique learning systems. So it just depends on your style and how much you want them to do the work for you. For me personally, when I am creating a lesson, I like to use the unique learning systems lessons to find all the pieces that I want. And I use those pieces to create my lesson, right? I like to be able to search by standards and like all that stuff. So like that is my style. In in science and social studies, I obviously lean more toward this, and you're going to see why. So when we were searching for science and social studies activities in the section that we were in before in this, let me show you, in the lesson section, you notice that in the lesson section, I went to unit 4, that's where we were, and I clicked on science and there was one activity. And I clicked on social studies and there was one activity. That is because every unit does not touch on all of the science and social studies activities, but that does not mean that they are not in unique learning systems. That means that it doesn't touch on them in every unit, which, I mean, if you think about it, makes sense. Like, you're not going to teach every science standard during the month of April. That's weird, right? Like, it doesn't work for science and social studies. It does kind of work for ELA and math because these are areas. Like, you might be doing number sense every single month, but the number sense is shifting from addition to subtraction to multiplication to division. You know, like it might be number identification when you first start. It might be identifying subitizing. You know, like these are all things that are under that parameter. Or geometry. You might be teaching geometry. You should be teaching geometry every single month, but you're teaching it a different way. Maybe it's two-dimensional shapes, and then it's three-dimensional shapes, and then it's maybe, I don't know, mapping. You understand graphing. Like, these are things that you're going to be touching on the skills and building the skills for, and it's the same thing in ELA. So, like, math and ELA are kind of a spectrum of learning, right? And you have foundational pieces that you need to get to the next level, and then you have things that are independent that you don't necessarily need to be phonemically aware. You might be limited phonemically, which impacts your ability to read, basic words or even read a text, but that doesn't necessarily impact your ability to comprehend a text, right? It might impact your fluency when reading because you're unable to sound out the individual sounds in a word, but it's not necessarily impacting your written expression and your ability to complete a fill-in-the-blank activity. So, like, it's so complex, right? So that's why lessons are great for reading and math, because they're all encompassing and they hit as many standards as possible. Science. In this area, I really like to focus on science and social studies. You can do it with math and reading. If I click on math, it's going to have different courses, and they're broken up by the different umbrellas for each of the standards. So like if you're working on matching and sorting, if you're working on identifying shapes,